All right, so in this video, I want to cover the best platforms and websites that you can dropship on here in 2021 and obviously beyond. Now, I made a similar video to this probably about a month ago, but that was more so like going into it. I was just starting dropshipping. I think I started literally like a month and a half ago roughly, and so it was kind of the platforms that I was testing at the time and knew that like you could technically dropship on. In this video, I'm going to give you more insights specifically on my experience dropshipping on all these platforms, and it'll be kind of like this, think of it kind of like this month and a half as like a full-on case study, and I'm going to report back to you my experience with every single platform, which one's worth it, which one's not, which one you'll get a lot of sales with, which one obviously you should just completely avoid, and any potential issues that might arise, right? So we're just gonna go down the list. I got 14 of them here and we're gonna spitball. So first and foremost, we've got eBay. Now, eBay, full disclosure, I don't drop ship on eBay. I'm actually still currently suspended from eBay because they thought I was drop shipping when I was reselling like 2-3 years ago, and I still have never got my account back. Now, I know there's some other things like stealth accounts and stuff like that, and I actually do from time to time when I used to resell like liquidation pallets, I use a friend's eBay account from their IP address in their computer, and then they just obviously, we go back and forth with like PayPal, so it's very, very easy that way. Although I haven't even moved into that right now currently with eBay, and it's another reason I haven't moved into a lot of these other, sites that we're going to talk about here in a second. First and foremost, I'm not ready to scale that much. Like, I don't have the right systems in place. I don't have enough VAs. I don't have enough cash flow, honestly, currently that I'm spending into products. And I really don't want to dive deep into my credit cards yet because like I said, I don't have the systems in place currently. So we're going to get into that here. But that is obviously a good problem to have. It means I'm selling a lot. It means I'm spending a lot of money, obviously. And I'm saving for a wedding currently, right? And the wedding's probably I think it's like 45 grand. So I don't have like cash flow sitting in a bank account really, obviously, that I can spend into products, right? I have my business bank account, but most of that either siphons off into money for taxes or into obviously paying for like the wedding, saving up for a house is another account, obviously. And then we have a number of other things like investment portfolios. So I don't really have like just 100 grand sitting around where I can just spend in products because hypothetically, let's say, Facebook Marketplace is one that we're going to talk about here in a second, and your margins on Facebook Marketplace currently are very, very high, right? We're talking like realistically, in my experience, like 30-40% margins on Facebook Marketplace. Maybe for you, it's even more, right? That's not the case on some of these other websites. The margins can be a little bit lower, but maybe the sales velocity is ridiculously high. And so what I'm saying is like, let's say hypothetically you're getting like 20% on one of the marketplaces. Like, I don't have 100 grand to spend just to make 20 grand back yet, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's a cash flow issue. But again, if you're watching this video, that's good news for you because it means that there's scalability there. It means that there's sales there, and it means that there's a lot of profit to be made, okay? So I don't really do it on eBay yet for the reason that I know it's possible, obviously, retail-wise, although you're not supposed to retail dropship on eBay. It's against their terms of service, and eventually, if you do it with like the normal ones, I'm sure they'll catch you. I also know it's possible to wholesale dropship on eBay. Again, haven't got into that. I do have my wholesaler, there's like so many names for it. I do have my resale license, wholesale permit, whatever, because I source wholesale for Amazon FBA. Haven't looked into dropshipping any of that yet on platforms like eBay. So I know that that's something that's coming in the future. eBay's on the back burner, but it is a great place that you can get started if you're a beginner. And you can retail dropship on eBay if you're looking to like build up an initial nest egg. I'm not the be all end all. Like, I'm not the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the master of that. I don't really know that much about it because, like I said, I don't really dropship on eBay. So I would look more into that if you want to. I just know it's a great opportunity, both retail and wholesale. You got to be careful retail wise, obviously, but it's possible, and there's a lot of money that you can still make out there if you do it right. Now, the next ones are going to be kind of obscure ones here. So Depop is the next one, and Depop was the one in the last video that was like the most obscure one that I recommended that you try out. I no longer recommend that you do Depop. The reason being is I was actually seeing, I think I saw 2 sales on Depop, which was like next to nothing, obviously, but at least it proved the concept where it's like if you cross post using a software like List Perfectly, which If you don't know what List Perfectly is, I'll link a discount link to List Perfectly down in the description. It's a cross-channel, like multi-channel listing software. So like if you have listings on Facebook Marketplace, cross-post them over to like Mercari, cross-post them over to Etsy, cross-post them to Depop. It posts like everywhere for you, so it, like instantly, it's super quickly. And then obviously you just have to verify a few things. So it's a software that saves you a lot of time and makes, you know, posting on multiple marketplaces so much easier. So you're getting more potential customers, more potential sales on another platform, etc., etc. That's why I recommended posting on all those other obscure platforms, Depop being the number one that I recommended. I don't recommend it anymore because in my personal experience, remember this is a case study about what happened in my dropshipping business, they just took down all my listings, but except for 3 like a week ago, and I think they said that they go against like what they want on the platform. I don't remember if it was stock photos, I don't remember if it was like things that I honestly forget what it was, but they took them all down. So depending on what you're dropshipping, you might want to dropship on Depop, although I'd say probably steer clear. Even if they kept all my listings up, it was still barely worth it. I was just kind of testing it to see if it was viable. I proved the concept, but ultimately, even if they let you do it, the sales really aren't there on that platform, in my opinion. So I wouldn't really spend too much time on it. Next one is Kidizen, which again is the same thing. It's the List Perfectly cross-posting software. So also post to Kidizen, also post to Depop, and also post to the next 2 that we're going to talk about. So Kidizen is a place that basically houses, it's a website that basically houses kids' clothes, kids' stuff, kids' toys. So you can sell all that. It's perfectly niched there. You have mothers and obviously fathers and parents and grandparents looking to shop for their kids or their grandkids on there. So it's a great place to niche down. I honestly haven't seen a sale yet on Kidizen, and I have, I think, like 100 items listed up. They're all kids, obviously, so it doesn't really seem like there's a lot of sales there. Comment below, let me know if I'm wrong and if you've seen something different. It doesn't seem, while they're still letting my listings up, obviously, it doesn't seem that it doesn't really seem like the sales are there, so I'd say avoid it for right now. Again, things might change in the future, but currently right now, I'd say avoid it. Grailed is the next one, so that's number 4. It's the same thing as Kidizen, except Grailed is niche for men and men's clothing and like men's stuff specifically, so like men's bags and stuff like that. So again, I have a bunch of listings on Grailed. I don't think it's quite 100 because I'm just testing it out. Same thing, you can use List Perfectly to post to Grailed as well if you want to go that route as well. And I haven't gotten any sales on Grailed either. Haven't really got much traction. At least I've gotten like interest, likes, follows, save to carts on Kidizen. I don't think I've ever gotten pretty much anything on Grailed. So again, it's just the same one. Avoid it. The next one is going to be number 5, and this is we have 2 more obscure ones, and then we'll move into the other ones here in a second. So the next one is Heroin, which not that kind of heroin. Heroin is the sister platform for Grailed. So Grailed is men, Heroin is women, obviously, and women's stuff. Although with Heroin, you can't post to List Perfectly. You can't use List Perfectly. It doesn't post there. So you'd have to do that manually. So probably not worth it, especially if you're not really seeing any traction on Grailed. Why would you think that you get traction on Heroin? I keep saying that word. So YouTube's probably going to demonetize this video, thinking that it's about something else, but whatever, okay? Next one is TradeZ. TradeZ I actually did see a little bit of traction on. Again, it was a lot like Kidizen, so like likes, follows, stuff like that, and interest. I haven't made a sale yet on TradeZ. The only one that I made a sale out of these obscure ones was Depop, and then they took all my listings down after I made 2 sales. So again, I wouldn't really waste your time with TradeZ. You can, especially if you have a VA that's very, very cheap, I'd say like cross-post all those. Test it out yourself. This has just been my opinion and my experience, and like I really didn't test it too hardcore. I only uploaded like 100 listings, but that is kind of a decent test group of listings to see if like you're getting traction on with anything on a platform like that. And I didn't really see much. You could test it, but that's been my experience with Depop, Kidizen, Grailed, Heroin, and TradeZ, which are kind of the obscure ones. Now moving into the other ones, I'd be remiss to make a dropshipping video if I didn't talk about Shopify. Full disclosure, I don't dropship on Shopify. It's a completely different business model than what I'm basically doing on this channel. With Shopify, you're listing all your stuff on your own Shopify website, and then obviously you need to run paid advertising, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Google AdWords, whether it's YouTube ads, whatever, whether it's Bing ads or anything like that. You need to run paid advertising to generate traffic and bring traffic to your actual listings into your website to make sales. In my opinion, and my experience, because I did used to try to do this in the past, and I have extensive experience running Facebook ads and YouTube ads and a little bit of Google AdWords, not much there. It's very difficult to, and I'm not like the best at it by any means, but I'm definitely competent, and I've spent, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars advertising. So like I know what I'm talking about. It's not like I've just spent like 100 or two. I'm not like the best by any means, but I do have experience, and it's very, very difficult to run advertising and be profitable on like a $10 product or a $30 product or like a $40 or $50 product even. Very, very difficult. It's even very difficult to run advertising to like a $100 or a couple $100 product. That's why, you know, you see these online courses that are super expensive because people are running ads to them, and to make their ads profitable and make money, they need to spend that much money, right? Like I've been in all those courses. I know how like those people kind of operate. I used to do it in the past and it was still very difficult. So my whole message there is, if a lot of the top advertisers are struggling to make money on like a $500 course advertising, right? Or a $1,000 course, yes, physical products and they're kind of impulse buys. Yes, it's kind of a different approach and strategy. My opinion is it's going to be very, very difficult, especially if you're a beginner watching this and you've made it this far in this video. Avoid Shopify. You're just going to throw your money down the drain. You're going to lose money. Now, there's definitely people out there that make money with it and run ads, you know, profitably and make a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. Although I would love to see the back end of most of their stores. I'm sure there's definitely people out there that do it, don't get me wrong, but I would love to see the back end of most of those people's stores and see what their actual profit to revenue ratio is, right? Because it's very easy to turn on advertising and make sales, but sales and revenue are very different things than profit, okay? What's your take-home profit at the end of the day? So that's my opinion on Shopify. Again, there's people out there that make money with it, clearly, but I don't recommend it. I steer clear, avoid it at all costs. You're just gonna waste your money, okay? So now let's get into the other more promising ones that I wanna talk about, okay? And these have been the most, you know, promising in my opinion. So first we have Etsy. Now, I haven't really gotten too heavy into Etsy, but it has shown promise there. It does work, and I have made sales, okay? The only thing with Etsy is, while you can use a thing like Z-Drop, which is like a Chrome extension that's going to allow you to take like Amazon listings or eBay listings or Walmart listings or listings from a number of places and pull them from those actual websites onto Etsy, as it will for the rest of these here, except for the one that I'm going to talk about. So you can use a Chrome extension like that. There's a link in the description to get into that for $9 a month, which is a complete steal. It doesn't just work with Etsy, it works with all the next ones except one. So I recommend that highly. You can use code GARA to get in at $9 a month. I still use that myself. Or you can obviously use List Perfectly, like I said, which cross-posts again from Facebook Marketplace to Etsy or Mercari to Etsy or wherever, okay? So Etsy's a great one, but you can only list vintage and handmade goods there. Now, I haven't had any problems with dropshipping on Etsy yet, and I've been doing it for like probably, like I haven't done it like heavily by all means, but like my listings have been up 2.5 weeks at least, and I haven't seen any issues with it yet, so I can only comment on my specific experience. I have heard other people say that they do have issues with like stock photos on Etsy a lot, but like when I looked into that, like looking down Etsy, like there's stock photos all over Etsy. So like I don't see that to be an issue, but again, I haven't had any issues with it. I'd say start slow, test it out yourself, but that's been my experience up to this point. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that do dropship on Etsy, but again, it has to be vintage or handmade goods. The next one is Mercari. So Mercari, honestly, like this is my best kept secret in a lot of ways. Mercari is a phenomenal platform to sell on. It's a phenomenal platform to drop ship on. I did get a cease and desist letter from Mercari like 2-3 years ago, so I'm not gonna get back into like how to drop ship on Mercari. I made all my tutorials on it unlisted and private so that like people can't get into them, because I just don't feel like dealing with it. It's not worth it in my opinion to teach people online on YouTube how to do it when, you know, I run the risk of getting sued by a multi-million-dollar or 100, you know, whatever it is, $1 million company. Not worth it in my opinion. You can look into it. Obviously, I'm just throwing this out there, like any site that allows you to use your own labels, you can technically drop ship from. The only issue there is like they might track your shipping addresses. So like from your where like you'll see what I mean when you go to actually do this. They might potentially track your tracking numbers and where you're shipping to or where you're shipping from, excuse me. And so I haven't really seen that to be an issue. Look into it. I'm just saying that you can do it, and the profit margins are pretty good, even though I've heard other people say the complete opposite. The profit margins are lower on Mercari. I haven't seen that to be the case, and I've been doing it a lot lately. Next one is Poshmark. So Poshmark is a great platform to dropship on, because you can use automation software, which you see running in the background the entire time I've been talking to you. It's been automating and just sharing my listings, so it's getting more views and eyes on my listings on the platform. On top of that, you can also dropship on it. You just need to do one of two things. You either need to facilitate the sale and then send a thank you note with the Poshmark label, because you do need to use the Poshmark label, or you need to order it to yourself and then ship it out. But obviously if you're using like Walmart Plus, if you're using Amazon Prime, it's gonna be very, very cheap. It's gonna be it's gonna be free actually to ship it to you. And it's gonna be very, very fast for you to get it in like a day or two and then ship it out to your customer, which on Poshmark, I believe you have 3 days to initiate the shipment. So that's another way you can do it. I call it dropship arbitrage. I will link both the Etsy and the Poshmark video down in the description if you want to see how I actually go through the process of dropshipping on those platforms and how I recommend that you do it as well, okay? The next one I'm also going to drop in the description, so that's OfferUp. I did an entire OfferUp dropshipping tutorial as well. It's very, very similar to Poshmark in that you need to use the OfferUp labels to actually facilitate or to dropship on there. So you can either do one of two things again, facilitate, and then also send like you would any other dropshipping item, right? So like order it from your supplier to the customer, but then send the OfferUp label as a thank you. Or you can order it to yourself, again, dropship arbitrage, and then send it out via OfferUp. Both of those work very well. I've done both of them, but again, more on those in the videos down in the description if you want to check them out, okay? Now, the last three right here are the most promising in my opinion, obviously not counting eBay, and Mercari honestly was pretty promising too. I've seen a little bit of success on Poshmark, and OfferUp and Etsy I haven't really scaled too much to see enough success, although the only caveat about OfferUp as well is you have to list on mobile unless you're using an emulator, which I also have a video on that as well. Down in the description, I'll link it there as well. So many links in this video. So the next three I'm just gonna bang off. We have Walmart, we have Amazon, and we have Facebook Marketplace, okay? Now, full disclosure, I've only listed, I think, 2 products on Walmart, so I don't have extensive experience with it, and I've heard that you're only supposed to wholesale dropship on Walmart like Amazon and eBay, right? I'm pretty sure you can get away with retail dropshipping, especially right now, although I don't know enough about it to say like do that. I'm sure it's risky. I'm sure eventually they'll catch you and suspend your account if you do that, especially if you're using like the suppliers like Amazon onto Walmart or Home Depot onto Walmart. Don't recommend that by any means, but you can do it. If you want to do it, I'd say look into it. Just be careful and safe with it, and learn as much as you can, or just do it with wholesale suppliers on Walmart. So that is definitely something, and why I started the video off with the cash flow. Like that's definitely something that I plan to get into in the future. But again, I'm doing so much on Amazon and so much on Facebook Marketplace right now that I haven't even scratched the surface on those 2 platforms yet. So like, why would I move over to eBay or to Walmart yet when I'm not even scaled on those 2, okay? So I haven't like really even moved over my thought or my approach or strategy or focus to Walmart at all. I know it's a great marketplace. I have friends that are selling very, very well on it, so I know it's very promising. The sales are all the way up there past eBay, and like not at the Amazon level, but they're very, very high. And the competition on Walmart's next to nothing currently, in my opinion, on most listings. So that's been like what I've heard. And I've only listed 2 products just to kind of see how it goes. And I have obviously a seller account on Walmart, and it seems to be getting easier to kind of apply and get accepted there. The last 2 are going to be Amazon and Facebook Marketplace. I plan on creating a lot of Amazon tutorials in the future. Not right now because I have a bunch of videos on the back burner that I want to make with ideas. So they're gonna come soon. Amazon has been super, super promising lately. I literally just got into this myself. Like I've always sold on Amazon. I've done wholesale on Amazon and FBA. I've done books on Amazon. I've done online arbitrage on Amazon. You name it, I've sold it on Amazon. So I have a lot of extensive experience. And so all I basically did is take that experience with like online arbitrage and selling that stuff and ordering wholesale products, and I brought it over to the dropshipping business model, okay? So you can use a lot of the same software or very, very similar approaches in a lot of ways, or you can also snipe or reverse engineer, people that are dropshipping on Amazon and then literally just list their products with software. It works very, very well. And one of the benefits of Amazon is it's a lot more automated, right? So like it takes a little bit to find a product potentially, not that long at all, especially if you're using some softwares. But what I'm saying is like, it takes a little bit longer than it obviously does to just list one on Facebook Marketplace, right? But once you find a product, that product is going to sit there and be a potential asset for your Amazon seller account for the foreseeable future, if not like a year or two potentially, right? Depends on the type of product. I don't want to get too much into it in this approach. I have two different approaches with it. I don't want to get too much into it in this video. I plan to make videos on it in the future. Very, very promising. You can automate the inventory management. You can automate the price tracking. You can automate your price, your prices on Amazon to stay competitive with the buy box, but never go below your break-even point, so you're losing money. There's so many automations on Amazon, so that once you actually have a product in your store, it's pretty hands-off, unless you're like facilitating like the orders and actually doing the order fulfillment like yourself, which I am currently doing, which is another reason I haven't scaled yet. But if you have a VA already taking care of that, then again, it's pretty much fully automated. And even if your VA sourcing for you, then it's fully automated, right? Because all the software in between will be taken care of by software. So Amazon is a very, very promising marketplace. I've literally just started it like 2 weeks ago, probably even less than that, maybe like a week and a half ago, but it's been phenomenal lately. And I was forced to kind of do it and like explore it because I got suspended on Facebook Marketplace last week with like all the suspensions, right? So Amazon, very promising, a lot of information on that coming soon, which ties us into the main marketplace, which is the best currently in my opinion, although Amazon's pretty freaking close. And in a week or a month or two, I might have a very different opinion of like, okay, Amazon's hands down the winner, it's the best, right? But Facebook Marketplace is super easy for beginners to get started. The software literally brings it over. It's honestly the easiest thing that I've seen, because like a site like Amazon requires a lot more technical knowledge of like how to implement software. And full disclosure, I rarely plug this, but there's actually a link to Dropship Pro down in the description where I teach all this stuff. So I teach Amazon and everything that you need to know. Some of the tutorials in there will literally blow your mind. They've been blowing my mind. And as well as Facebook Marketplace and all these other ones here, and which ones I recommend. So it'll teach you OfferUp, Mercari, Poshmark, like all those good ones. But like Facebook Marketplace is probably the easiest thing that I've seen in a long time, maybe ever, for anybody to get started, right? Like you can get started. My girlfriend can get started. My fiance, don't tell her I said that. My fiance can get started. My mom can get started. My little sister can get started. Like anybody can get started, start listing products with a $9 software named Z-Drop, which I always recommend. Again, link down in the description. And it's just gonna morph your listings over. And if you list the right types of things, and even if you don't list the right types of things, but you list a lot of things, you will make sales and you will make money. It's crazy, okay? So it seems like Facebook Marketplace is blowing up. It's a great opportunity. I'm not gonna get too much into it in this video because I have like dozens of other videos on Facebook Marketplace, and I'll make dozens more because I love it. It's been so easy. It's been exciting because it's new and novel to me. But so lots of videos on all these coming soon. I already have a dropshipping tutorial on Etsy. I have a dropshipping tutorial on Poshmark. I have a dropshipping tutorial on OfferUp. All those are linked down in the description if you want to check them out. Amazon dropshipping tutorial soon, and pretty much every other recent video is Facebook Marketplace dropshipping, so check all those out. But those are the most, those are the most promising current marketplaces and websites that you can dropship on currently right now at the end of April and moving into the beginning of May of 2021. I had to look at the date, which is pretty sad. And obviously that's going to be in the foreseeable future. I don't see much of this changing. Maybe some of it slightly, but realistically, like if you're watching this in 2022, probably very, very similar. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know like your experience with either Facebook Marketplace or Amazon or any of the other obscure ones. Maybe you're doing Walmart yourself. Is it as promising as people say, right? Maybe you've tried eBay. I'd love to hear from that. So your experience, it doesn't matter the marketplace, doesn't matter the platform. Let me know how your dropshipping sales have been going lately and what your experience with the business model has been like. So hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you appreciate the value in it, and I'll see you in the next one.